In 2025, the average monthly car payment for a new car is $745, and for a used car is $521. Believe it or not, but cars were originally designed to give us freedom. They allowed us to go wherever we wanted, whenever we wanted, and in comfort. But now, cars are the #1 thing that rob us of our freedom. People stay stuck at jobs they hate, miss out on experiences, and delay building financial security, all just so they can keep up with their car payments. And what do they get in exchange? Leather seats, a keyless start, a design that looks nearly identical to everything else on the road? It is absurd how much we sacrifice for our cars, but the reason it's so normal is because we don't see the absurdity. And so in this video, I'm going to paint a picture about the impact that cars have over our finances, our lifestyle, and our future by comparing having a paid-off car and no car payment to financing a $100,000 car of your dreams with a $2,000 a month payment and everything in between. And I hope that this video shows you how absurd this norm is and inspires you to rethink your entire relationship with cars. Now, in order to bring this video to life, we're going to follow Alex, a 30-year-old office worker who is thinking about getting a new car, and see how his decision impacts his life. Now, let me first give you some information on Alex. Alex has a monthly income of $5,000 after taxes. His total monthly expenses are $4,000, so he has $1,000 left over at the end of the month. He has been approved for a loan with an APR of 7.5%, which is pretty average nowadays, and the length of the loan is 5 years. And so now let's see what happens to Alex's budget, lifestyle, and long-term wealth as he goes from having a paid-off car to financing the car of his dreams. And let's start off where he's at right now, $0 in a paid-off car. So although Alex wants a new car, he already has one, but it's a pretty basic one. Alex drives a 2009 Honda Accord that is paid off. And although it's not turning heads on the road, it's a reliable car and it gets him to where he wants to go. And not having a car payment really opens up his budget. I mean, as I said, Alex takes home $5,000 a month. $4,000 of that goes to his bills. So he still has $1,000 or 20% of his budget free to do whatever he wants with. Now, realistically, although his car is reliable, more than likely he's going to have to go to the mechanic every 6 months or so and might spend $600. So let's factor that into his budget. He spends 1.5% of his budget on maintenance and 18.5% is free, or $900 a month. Which is still not bad. Having an extra $900 a month, or nearly $11,000 a year, allows him to do so much. He can treat himself more in day-to-day life, take a couple trips each year, and afford what he wants. Life without a car payment is good for Alex, and also because he doesn't have a car payment, he has a lot more peace of mind when it comes to money. With $900 left over each month, he's not stressed if an unexpected expense comes up. He has more money to build his emergency fund and can even invest more to build his wealth. Although Alex's 2009 Honda Accord isn't that exciting, he has something much more valuable: options. That extra $900 a month opens up so many doors that many people don't realize they're closing by getting a car payment. His paid-off car gives him freedom, flexibility, and peace of mind while also being reliable. A paid-off car is a wonderful thing, and if you have one, get the occasional work done to it and drive it until the wheels come off. Because let's see what happens as Alex decides to upgrade his car and gets a $15,000 car. So Alex has made the decision to get a car, but he wants to be budget conscious about it and get one that doesn't affect his finances that much. And so he heads to CarMax. And upon looking, he notices that a low-end used car in this economy is gonna run for about $15,000. So after looking, he decides to go with this 2019 Jeep Cherokee, which will run him about $300 a month. But because he's financing the car, it's going to raise his insurance by about $50 a month. So let's see what happens to his budget. Like before, 80% goes to his bills. Now 7% or $350 now goes to his car, and he still has 13% free or $650 a month, which still gives him plenty of breathing room in his budget. He can still enjoy day-to-day things more and take the occasional trip. However, because of this new payment, one thing that Alex has really slowed down on is investing. He has decided to invest $350 less a month for 5 years until he pays off his car, which doesn't seem like a big deal at the time, but let's see how much this causes him to miss out on in the long term. Investing $350 a month for 5 years would have grown to over $24,000, and if he stopped contributing there and let compound interest take over for another 30 years, it would have grown to a whopping $248,000 by retirement age. On the surface, a $15,000 car seems reasonable, and in this economy, it is. However, as we just saw, adding even just a small monthly payment can completely reshape your finances. Going from a paid-off car to $350 a month car payment cost Alex a slightly tighter budget in the present and nearly $250,000 in the long term. Even getting a budget car can cost you so much in the long term. And now, because Alex is used to a car payment, he starts to think, what if I upgraded just a little bit more? And he starts looking at cars in the $30,000 range. So Alex starts to think that he wants to get something a little bit nicer. After all, he is working hard. He deserves it, right? And so after looking, he decides to go with this 2022 Ford Bronco that's about $30,000, which will come with a monthly payment of $600 plus the $50 increase in insurance, which still seems expensive, but he has a good job, so it still seems within budget. And so now let's look to see what happens to his budget with this new car payment. That $650 payment will consist of 13% of his budget, leaving him with 7% or $350 left over. He's still under budget. However, at this level, his car is starting to interfere with his life. With just $350 left over, he has to be a bit more mindful with day-to-day spending, can only go on one vacation a year, and his savings pace has really started to slow down. Not to mention, with this car payment, he is investing a lot less. By delaying investing $650 a month in the short term, he missed out on over $45,000 in growth, and in long-term compounding, he missed out on $460,000. And although it's a good-looking car, in the end, all it's really doing 22 hours a day is just sitting in a parking lot and not being used. In those 2 hours a day that he's using it, is mainly just used for driving to work and running errands, which in my opinion doesn't seem like a good trade-off. Giving up nearly $500,000 long-term so you can run your errands in style. But it also doesn't seem like a good trade-off, because that $650 monthly payment also comes with a lot of financial stress, more responsibilities, and less security. Yet maybe I'm the crazy one, because in our society, this is completely normal. Getting a $30,000 car is actually a very smart decision. And so now, let's imagine that Alex wants to turn heads and decides to get a $50,000 car. And so now Alex starts to think. He's a young guy, has a good job, lives in a nice city, and has an extra $1,000 a month of spending money. Why not get something nice? I mean, now seems like the time to do it. And so he decides to buy a 2025 BMW X1 for about $50,000. But that $50,000 car loan means a $1,000 payment plus a $100 increase in insurance. And so let's see what that does to his budget. His car is now 22% of his budget, and he's actually $100 over budget now. However, he decides that if he eats out a bit less and cuts some things out, he can make it work. At this point, because of his car payment, money is tight. He has to be cautious with his spending. He can't afford to go on vacations, and he can't save. He's still at his job working hard, but none of the money he's making seems like it's his. All of it is going straight to paying rent, bills, and the rest towards his car payment. And if some surprise expense comes up, well, he's just gonna have to put it on his credit card and deal with it later. Also, he's not investing anymore, which is costing him a lot more than he probably realizes. Investing $1,100 a month over 5 years would have grown to $77,000, and from there, compound interest would have taken it to $779,000 by retirement age. But who cares about that in the future, because the present moment is looking good for Alex. He just got a car wash membership, is getting compliments in the parking lot, and the ladies are finally starting to think he's interesting. He might have missed out on nearly $800,000, but man, does that thing sitting outside in the driveway for 22 hours a day look nice. And just when things start to feel good, something big happens. His boss pulls him aside and says, "Alex, you've been crushing it lately. We're giving you a promotion, bumping you up to $6,000 a month." And at that moment, it seems clear to him. He is going all in and gonna get the car of his dreams in our final amount of a $100,000 car. So with his new promotion and raise, Alex feels unstoppable. He tells himself, "I've worked hard, I've moved up in life, it's time to reward myself." What's the point of the hustle if you can't reward yourself? And so of course, Alex decides to get himself a brand spanking new Tesla Cybertruck, giving him a monthly payment of $2,000 and bumps his insurance up to $200 more. And so now, when we look at his budget, 37% goes to his Cybertruck, and he is $200 over budget, but he's just gonna be even more cautious with his money to make it work. Although Alex is making more money than ever, he has never felt so broke because every penny he earns just goes to someone else, his landlord, his bills, and his truck's baby daddy. From the outside, he looks successful, but on the inside, he is stressed out. He has a large amount of debt, no financial safety net, and no peace of mind. That Cybertruck has trapped him. He has to keep his job, keep his income, and keep the hamster wheel turning so he never misses a car payment. And what's silently killing him is that this car payment is wrecking his financial future. Investing $2,200 a month over 5 years would have grown to $155,000. And from there, compound interest would have taken it to $1.5 million by retirement age. Let me say that again in case you didn't hear me. Instead of investing $2,200 a month to retire a millionaire, he has put it in a depreciating asset, which in 10 years will probably be gone, out of style, or something he's bored with. But the financial hole he put himself in will probably still be with him. Alex doesn't own his car, but his car owns him. And this is the reality of many people with car payments. The world is expensive enough as it is. Factor in a car payment, I don't know how people do it. And so my final words to you are this. As we've seen in this video, when Alex had no car payment, life was good. It granted him freedom, flexibility, and a promising financial future. But as he started to upgrade, little by little, he started to lose it. And so before you decide to upgrade your car, think twice about it. Because true wealth and true freedom isn't parked in your driveway. And sometimes the smartest purchase is the one you choose to never make, especially when it comes to cars. And with that, muchas gracias. Que tenga un buen día. Nos vemos, chicos.